my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And art so far from my help and from the words of my complaint.
O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not. And in the night season also I take no rest.
And thou continuest holy. O worship of Israel.
Our fathers trusted in thee. They trusted in thee, and thou didst deliver them.
They called upon thee and were saved. They put their trust in thee and were not confounded.
But as for me, I am a worm and no man, a very scorn of men, and the outcast of the people.
All they that see me laugh me to scorn. They shoot out their lips and shake their heads,
Saying he trusted in God that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him if he delighteth in him.
but thou art he that took me from the womb. Thou wast my rock when I hanged yet upon my mother's breast.
I have been left unto thee ever since I was born. Thou art my God even from my mother's womb.
O go not from me, for trouble is hard at hand, and there is none to help me.
Many oxen are come about me. Strongholds of patience close me in on every side.
They beat upon me with their mouths, as it were a rattling and a roaring lion.
I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart also in the midst of my body is even like melting wax.
My strength is dried up like a potion, and my tongue cleaveth to my gums. And thou bringest me into the dust of death.
For many dogs are come about me, and the counsel of the wicked layeth siege against me.
They pierced my hands and my feet. I may count all my bones. They stand staring and looking upon me.
They part my garments among them, and cast lots upon my vesture.
But be not thou far from me, O Lord. Thou art my succor, haste me to help me.
Deliver my soul from the sword, and my life from the power of the dogs.
Save me from the lion's mouth. Thou hast heard me also from among the horns of the wild oxen.
I will declare thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the congregation will I praise thee.
Oh, praise the Lord, ye that fear him. Magnify him, O ye the seed of Jacob, and stand in awe of him, O ye seed of Israel.
For he hath not despised nor abhorred the low estate of the poor. He hath not hid his face from him, but when he called unto him, he heard him.
Oh, he cometh by praise in the great congregation. My house will ever fall in the sight of them that fear him.
The poor shall eat and be satisfied. They that seek after the Lord shall praise him. May your heart live forever.
All the ends of the world shall remember and be turned unto the Lord. And all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before him.
For the kingdom is the Lord's, and he is the governor among the nations.
Surely to him shall all the proud of the earth bow down, and before him shall kneel all that go down into the dust, and he that cannot keep his soul alive.
Their posterity shall serve him. It shall be told of the Lord unto a generation yet to come.
And men shall declare his righteousness unto a people that shall be born that he hath done it.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
The Lord is my shepherd, therefore can I lack nothing.
He shall feed me in a green pasture, and lead me forth beside the waters of comfort.
He shall restore my soul, and bring me forth in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff comfort me.
Thou shalt prepare a table before me in the presence of them that trouble me. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, and my cup shall be full.
Surely thy loving kindness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
The first lesson is written in the second book of Samuel, in the 19th chapter, beginning at the first verse. And it was told to Joab, Behold, the king weepeth and mourneth for Absalom. And the victory that day was turned into mourning unto all the people. For the people heard say that day how the king was grieved for his son. And the people gat them by stealth that day into the city, as people being ashamed to steal away when they flee in battle. But the king covered his face, and the king cried with a loud voice, O my son Absalom, O Absalom, my son, my son. And Joab came into the house to the king, and said, Thou hast shamed this day the faces of all thy servants, which this day have saved thy life, and the lives of thy sons and of thy daughters, and the lives of thy wives, and the lives of thy concubines, in that thou lovest thine enemies, and hatest thy friends. For thou hast declared this day that thou regardest neither princes nor servants, For this day I perceive that if Absalom had lived, and all we had died this day, then it had pleased thee well. Now therefore arise, go forth, and speak comfortably unto thy servants. For I swear by the Lord, if thou go not forth, there will not tarry one with thee this night. And that will be worse unto thee than all the evil that befell thee from thy youth until now. Then the king arose and sat in the gate. And they told unto all the people, saying, Behold, the king doth sit in the gate. And all the people came before the king, for Israel had fled every man to his tent. And all the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, The king saved us out of the hand of our enemies, and he delivered us out of the hand of the Philistines. But now he is fled out of the land for Absalom. And Absalom, whom we anointed over us, is dead in battle. Now therefore, why speak ye not a word of bringing the king back? And David sent to Zadok and to Abiathar the priests, saying, Speak unto the elders of Judah, saying, Why are ye the last to bring the king back to his house, seeing the speech of all Israel is come to the king, even to his house? Ye are my brethren, ye are my bones and my flesh. Wherefore then are ye the last to bring back the king? And say ye to Amasa, Art thou not bone of my bone, and of my flesh? God do so to me, and more also, if thou be not captain of the host before me continually in the room of Joab. And he bowed the heart of all the men of Judah, even as the heart of one man, so that they sent this word unto the king, Return thou and all thy servants. So the king returned and came to Jordan. And Judah came to Gilgal, to go to meet the king, to conduct the king over Jordan. And Shimei, the son of Gera, the Benjamite, who was of Bahurim, hasted and came down with the men of Judah to meet King David. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him, and Ziba, the servant of the house of Saul, and his 15 sons, and his 20 servants with him. And they went over Jordan before the king. And there went over a ferry boat to carry over the king's household, and to do what he thought good. And Shimei, the son of Gera, fell down before the king, as he was come over Jordan, and said unto the king, Let not my lord impute iniquity unto me, neither do thou remember that which thy servant did perversely, the day that my lord the king went out of Jerusalem, that the king should take it to his heart. For thy servant doth know that I have sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come the first this day of all the house of Joseph, to go down to meet the king. But Abishai the son of Zeruiah answered and said, Shall not Shimei be put to death for this, because he cursed the Lord's anointed? And David said, What have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah, that ye should this day be adversaries unto me? Shall there any man be put to death this day in Israel? For do not I know that I am this day king over Israel? Therefore the king said unto Shimei, Thou shalt not die. And the king sware unto him. Here endeth the first lesson.
Lord,
he hath regarded the lowliness of his handmaiden.
For behold, from henceforth all generations shall call me blessed.
For he that is mighty hath magnified me, and holy is his name.
And his mercy is on them that fear him throughout all generations.
He hath showed strength with his arm. He hath scattered the proud in the imagination of their heart.
He hath put down the mighty from their seat, and hath exalted the humble and meek.
He hath filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he hath sent empty away.
He remembering his mercy hath opened his servant Israel.
As he promised to our forefathers, Abraham and his seed forever.
Glory be to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Ghost.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Ye mountains of Gilgal, let there be neither dew nor rain upon you. For there the shield of the mighty is vilely cast away, the shield of Saul, as though he had not been anointed with oil. How the mighty fallen in the midst of the battle. Jonathan was slain upon thy high places. Saul and Jonathan were lovely and exceeding pleasant in their lives, and in their death they were not divided.
The second lesson is written in the Gospel according to St. Mark, in the 14th chapter, beginning at the 27th verse. And Jesus saith unto them, All ye shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. But after that I am risen, I will go before you into Galilee. But Peter said unto him, Although all shall be offended, yet will not I. And Jesus saith unto him, Verily I say unto thee, that this day, even in this night, before the cock crow twice, thou shalt deny me thrice. But he spake the more vehemently, If I should die with thee, I will not deny thee in any wise. Likewise also said they all. And they came to a place which was named Gethsemane, and he saith to his disciples, Sit ye here while I shall pray. And he taketh with him Peter and James and John, and began to be sore amazed, and to be very heavy, and saith unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful unto death. Tarry ye here and watch. And he went forward a little, and fell on the ground, and prayed that, if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible unto thee. Take away this cup from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt. And he cometh, and findeth them sleeping, and saith unto Peter, Simon, sleepest thou? Couldest not thou watch 1 hour? Watch ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak. And again he went away and prayed, and spake the same words. And when he returned, he found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. Neither wist they what to answer him. And he cometh the third time, and saith unto them, Sleep on now, and take your rest. It is enough, the hour is come. Behold, the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise up, let us go. Lo, he that betrayeth me is at hand. And immediately, while he yet spake, cometh Judas, one of the 12, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves, from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. And he that betrayed him had given them a token, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Take him and lead him away safely. And as soon as he was come, he goeth straightway to him, and said, Master, Master, and kissed him. And they laid their hands on him and took him. And one of them that stood by drew a sword, and smote a servant of the high priest, and cut off his ear. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Are ye come out as against a thief, with swords and with staves to take me? I was daily with you in the temple teaching, and ye took me not. But the scriptures must be fulfilled. And they all forsook him and fled. And there followed him a certain young man, having a linen cloth cast about his naked body. And the young men laid hold on him, and he left the linen cloth, and fled from them naked. Here endeth the second lesson.
And to be the glory of thy people Israel.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Preserve us, O Lord, our great King, and guard us while sleeping, that awake we may watch with Christ.
Virgin Mary, suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, dead, and buried. He descended into hell. The third day he rose again from the dead. He ascended into heaven, and sitteth on the right hand of God the Father Almighty. From thence he shall come to judge the quick and the dead. I believe in the Holy Ghost, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins,
The resurrection of the body.
and the life everlasting. Amen.
O Lord, hear our prayer.
And let our cry come unto thee.
Let us pray. Lord, have mercy upon us.
Christ, have mercy upon us.
Lord, have mercy upon us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive them that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. O Lord, show thy mercy upon us.
And grant us thy salvation.
O Lord, save the Queen.
And mercifully hear us when we call upon thee.
Endue thy ministers with righteousness.
And make thy chosen people joyful.
O Lord, save thy people.
And bless thine inheritance.
Give peace in our time, O Lord.
And evermore mightily defend us.
O God, make clean our hearts within us.
And take not thy Holy Spirit from us.
O God, the protector of all that trust in thee, without whom nothing is strong, nothing is holy, increase and multiply upon us thy mercy. That thou, being our ruler and guide, we may so pass through things temporal, that we finally lose not the things eternal. Grant this, O Heavenly Father, for Jesus Christ's sake our Lord, who liveth and reigneth with thee in the Holy Spirit, one God, world without end.
Amen.
O God, who didst give such grace unto thy holy apostles, St. Peter and St. Paul, that they were enabled to bear witness to the truth by their death, grant unto thy church, that as in the beginning it was enlightened by their teaching, so it may continue in the same unto the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, who liveth and reigneth with thee in the Holy Spirit, one God, world without end.
Amen.
O God, from whom all holy desires, all good counsels, and all just works do proceed, give unto thy servants that peace which the world cannot give, that our hearts may be set to obey thy commandments, and also that by thee, we, being defended from the fear of our enemies, may pass our time in rest and quietness, through the merits of Jesus Christ our Savior.
Amen.
Lighten our darkness, we beseech thee, O Lord, and by thy great mercy defend us from all perils and dangers of this night, for the love of thy only Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
O Lord, hear our prayer.
And let our cry come unto thee. Let us bless the Lord.
Thanks be to God. May the souls of the faithful, through the mercy of God, rest in peace.
Amen.
of the glorious Virgin Mother Mary, to become an habitation meet for thy Son, grant that as we rejoice in her commemoration, we may be delivered by her loving intercession from our present evils and from eternal death. Through the same Christ our Lord.